A chicken suit was meant to appear in New Super Mario Bros. 3 as seen in an official image leaked on an internet forum. This suit was rejected as it was actually replaced by a penguin suit we all know.
You might already know what the Koopa suit is. It is a power-up which normally contains a Koopa, used to pass through Spidey zones without getting hurt. But did you know that Koopa is actually a Japanese name for Koopas? That name isn't random after all.
Although he appeared as a main character just in Super Mario RPG, Geno is actually one of the most loved Mario characters of all time. However, he made a minor appearance in Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga, in which he hosted one of the minigames. Despite this, Geno has not appeared in any other game to date.
Yoshi was originally going to appear in the first Super Mario Galaxy, but was cut during development and instead later appeared on its sequel. On a 2009 Iwata Asks article, the developers of the game said that they thought that by adding Yoshi on the game, he would only have been useful in a single stage, and Yoshi had to have been a main element of a Mario game.
In the original Super Mario Bros., bushes and clouds have the same design, but with a different pattern. You probably knew that already. However, did you know that the mushroom sound effect is the same as the flagpole music, but sped up 20 times? This was a good way of saving space on the cartridge.
The rabbit in Super Mario 64 is actually called Mips. He was used as a testing dummy and wasn't planned to appear in the final release. But he actually made it to the game because developers did not want to get rid of it. Also, the name MIPS means microprocessor without interlocked pipeline stages, which is the name of the Nintendo 64's CPU.
In Space World 2001, a trailer of Mario Sunshine was shown, which was released the year after. In that trailer, a human girl could be seen for a fraction of a second. This might mean that human NPCs were meant to be in the game, but didn't.
Super Mario Galaxy 2's internal disk file name is actually called Super Mario Galaxy More. This suggests that this game was supposed to be an expansion to the original game, rather than a direct sequel.
It's possible for Lakitu to be crushed briefly by obstacles while informing racers that they're heading the wrong way. This can be done by the thwomps in Bowser's Castle and the crushers in Toad's Factory.
Wacka, the cute and poor mole from Paper Mario which you could hit with your hammer in order to get a Wacka bump, wasn't always as specific as we think. Early in development, he would attack after being hit and even has an entry in the enemy table.
Some enemies from the very first Super Mario games have got a quirky behavior. For example, in the iconic Super Mario Bros. For the NES, if you wait long enough in front of a hammer bro, he will start chasing you down. And in Super Mario Bros. 3, when a chain chomp stuck on its chain exactly 49 times, he will break free and chase you.
As you already probably know, special items were added in Mario Kart's Double Dash. One of them, which is the Big Bowser Shell, was going to appear in the game which came right after, Mario Kart DS. However, for some unexplained reason, it was not used in the final game. What's weird is that a sprite of it can still be seen in the game's files.
This enemy is called Snippet. We're used to seeing them in a red suit, but red wasn't always its default color. Even though Snippets are depicted red in the manual of Super Mario Bros. 2, in the game they are mostly grey, green and pink Snippets. Nevertheless, the manual isn't wrong at all, as there's actually just a single red Snippet in the game, located in World 3-3.
In Super Mario Bros. 3, at the end of every fortress you had to defeat Boom Boom in order to get an interrogation orb and play the next levels. But did you know what happens if you kill him with an invincibility star? You might think nothing special will happen, but the orb actually appears upside down.
Thwomps and especially Womps from Super Mario 64 are based on a creature from Japanese mythology called Nurikabe. According to a legend, Nurikabes can turn into wall in order to trick or trap travelers. It's not actually what a Womp does, but at least the designs are similar.
Covers of Mario Kart games are sometimes quirky, and the box art of Mario Kart Double Dash, if you look closely, you might notice that the L in Luigi's cap is backwards. This can't be showing mirror mode because the DK in the cart behind Luigi is on the right side. But that's not all. In Mario Kart 8's cover, if you follow the road, you might notice that Mario and Peach are driving the opposite direction. And this can't be showing battle mode because there are no balloons above them. And because it wasn't really special though.
An unused promotional poster for Super Mario Strikers was created, but rejected immediately due to its visual depiction of male scrotum. In the image, 2 soccer balls dangle from a net bag, with the quote, "You're gonna need a pair." It's the only time Nintendo has used suggestive themes on their promotion.
There are some unused text within the files of the Japanese version of Super Mario Sunshine, suggesting that there was probably going to be a train system in the game. It could have been used as a way of accessing to the many different hotspots of Isle Delfino, replacing the portals that made it into the final game. These texts list most of the locations of Isle Delfino, but also mention 3 unused areas named Battleship Island, In Front of Flame Temple, and Lighthouse Island.
Double Cherry from Super Mario 3D World was actually created by accident. In an interview with the game director Kenta Mochikura, he said that this item was born when one of the developers accidentally set 2 starting points for Mario when testing one of the levels, resulting in 2 Marios appearing on screen. Developers liked the idea and decided to include it in the final game.
The grassy pond located halfway up the left mountain of World 1 from Super Mario World is based on the mythological kappa from Japanese folklore, which is often depicted with a small pool of water on its head. In fact, the official name of this mountain is Kappa Mountain, as stated in the game's guidebook.
In Super Mario Galaxy 2, it is actually possible to die during the credits. To do this, catch the beam mushroom that appears while Taltron Galaxy is being shown, and then wait until Freezy Flake Galaxy appears. Afterwards, climb the mountain and fly at the same time with your Bee suit. If you reach a certain height, you will actually get a game over. However, the screen just remains black until the credits end.
In the Power Star, blasted the stone pillar in Jolly Roger Bay, in Super Mario 64, the Power Star is contained within a box in Western version, but not in Japanese versions of the game. Plus, the second Power Star on Cool Cool Mountain, acquired by reuniting the baby penguin with their mother, appeared over the mother penguin's head in the Japanese version. It was moved next to the pool in other releases, likely to make it easier to obtain.
There are some interesting graphics hidden within the files of Mario Kart Wii. For example, there's a graphic depicting a Chain Chomp and a Japanese character below it. It is likely that the Chain Chomp was going to make its return, but it was later replaced by the Bullet Bill. There is also another graphic of a t-shirt with the letter C on it, which means that there was originally going to be a third Mii outfit, but it was removed. These character select screen graphics also show 3 playable characters that didn't make it into the game: Petey Piranha, Paratroopa, and Hammer Bro. This means that all the characters from Mario Kart Double Dash were going to make a return in Mario Kart Wii, but these 3 were removed.
In 1999, a study demonstrated that playing Super Mario 64 caused an increase in our brain capacity, especially on the regions responsible for orientation and strategy. Another study claimed that playing Super Mario Sunshine made people more helpful in real life. Video games don't make us less social after all.
In Mushroom Castle from Super Mario RPG Legend of the 7 Stars, there is a hidden item located behind a fireplace called Toadstool's ? It is never revealed what the item is, as fighting it will result in either Toadstool's grandmother driving you away and giving you something else in exchange, or Peach angrily scolding you if you have her in your party. In the Japanese version, the item is labeled Peach's XXX, giving less subtle idea on what the item was originally intended to be.